How I moved out with no money, no plan, no anything. Now, this video here, it was on one of my lists in regards to making for you guys, especially for those who are probably around my age or who feel like, it's probably time to move out, or who just feel that like they may just be in a bad environment or an abusive environment to where it's not safe for them to stay. Like, this is one of the videos that I wanted to really make. I was kind of dodging this video because, it's a real very important but touchy topic to touch on, just due to the fact that it can get real personal. It can get real hard to digest sometimes because real recognizes real. And when you're not in your real estate, you can get offended, or you could get in a place to where you're not motivated to move or press through your situation. So I'm here to let you know, whoever in the situation of like moving out with no plan, you don't know what your next meal gonna be or what your next move gonna be, as far as like places to stay and stuff like that. Just know that I feel for you. I'm here for you. And there's always a way, man. Always understand it. Everybody's situation is different. Take that into account. Your situation is not going to be like everybody else's, but it's nice to hear different perspectives to where you can add things to your toolbox within this situation. So I'm here to share this video with you guys on some, just some key tips or some key ways on how you can move out with no money down or no money like in your pocket right now. So let's get into it. Obviously, this is for people who don't have a job. So in my situation, I currently like have a good paying job or occupation. So I wasn't really too worried about like moving out without a certain plan or anything like that. But for a person who may not have a good source of income or just a income in general, just apply to some fast food or some fast working jobs where you can get hired quickly, and you can just start getting some money in your pocket. I recommend doing this, before you move out or decide to like just jump ship. Everybody's situation is different. If you gotta, jump ship quickly, you know what I'm saying? Like, try to stay in one of your people's or your friends or somebody you trust, stay in a place, and then just apply all day, go to the library or something, throughout the day, to where you gotta apply. This is crucial because you need a certain or a source of income in general. And this is how you gonna, create your foundation, or where you wanna go, where you wanna move. And once you find immediate work or something like that, this will be a good way for you to, start staying like week to week or or month to month in a space or in a motel or hotel or something like that, just to get yourself started. And this is also like not just tips for people who moving out with no money, like you got a good foundation as far as household. This is also for a video for people who are like in poor environments, who are just struggling, or they gotta move like ASAP, you know what I'm saying? So understand this. If you have a car, like Uber Eats or DoorDashing or something like that, I highly recommend you do that. It may not be the biggest payout, just like any other minimum wage job right now, but you gotta get some money in, and I think doing that on top of having a part-time job or something like that will help you for sure. Next thing is creating a budget. I don't know why I had this first, but like, yeah, you got to create a budget. If you already have a job, you need to create a budget. If you don't have a job, you need to also have an idea of what your budget gonna be once you have a job. Know your priorities. Only the necessities you should be really focused on. Food, shelter, transportation, and utilities and stuff like that, which includes like internet and stuff like that. Create that budget that outlines your current expenses. and, just find a way to lower those expenses too. You know what I'm saying? Like, since you finna move out and you don't have a good, amount of savings or something like that. Also add in the cost of, the what you have to handle in regards to, like, rent payments, utilities, and stuff like that. Transportation costs, all that, so take all that into account. Also, create a backup plan. This is for the people who, like, you moving out right away. You ain't really got no plan or no money saved up or nothing like that. Like, you gotta have a backup plan. Like, push come to shove, worst case scenario, if all things go left, like, what would be your next step to, like, getting a place to stay? You know what I mean? Whether that's staying with a friend, or whether that's, throughout the day, you gotta stay here. Throughout the night, you gotta stay here. You gotta take all of this into account. Create a backup plan, whether that's financial wise, your income. Like, what if you lost your job or lost your part-time job? Like, so you gotta put all of that into account. Luckily, I was able to find a place to stay, like, within, like, a couple days or so. But that doesn't always work out. You know what I'm saying? You gotta stay 10 steps ahead. It's like chess. So understand this. And when you moving out and stuff like that, I know it's hard to think about creating a backup plan, but, because you're so focused on your current situation right now. But you can also walk by faith and stuff like that. But at the same time, you gotta think realistically and think about, your next steps always. Sell your junk. And I say junk, but in reality, like, another man's trash is another man's treasure. Whatever you have that can be valuable to somebody else, whether that's clothes, shoes, electronics, stuff like that, that you don't really need at this point right now. When you're trying to move out, man, you ain't got no money saved up or anything. You know, entertain that thought of selling those things. I currently have some clothes right now that I could honestly sell, some shoes as well, but I'm choosing to give them away to the homeless because, it's on my spirit. Also, I'm able to do that. So take into account of selling some of your junk for some extra cash and stuff like that. Use your car. Now, you could look at this in two different ways. You could say, like, okay, so if I'm moving out with no money, okay, I'm gonna use my car to move out some of my stuff. That's another way to look at this this section right here. But you could also look at it as, like, okay, use your car to sleep in. You can look at it that way as well. Like, if push come to shove, if I didn't have a place to stay or something like that, I would entertain the thought of staying in my vehicle. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, if you are trying to look at moving your stuff around, like, instead of having to pay for like a hauling truck and stuff like that, use your vehicle, pack light, leave some stuff behind. You know what I'm saying? Like, me personally, I didn't take any furniture, from out of my room or my space or anything like that because I don't really need it. I just need, a certain amount of necessities in regards to my clothes and some shoes and stuff like that. But the rest of it, really, it could just stay. Now, this is not really a tip or anything like that, but it is to me. I believe it is. Ask for help. If there's a will, there is a way. If you have the drive and determination or anything like that, you will figure this situation out. You will figure out this little moment. It may seem long right now, but this little moment in your life. And the way you can also do that and figure it out is by asking for help. Especially from people you trust or who has your best interest. Don't be too big-headed to not ask for help. Pride is the devil sometimes. Like, trust me, I know. I've been in many situations where I did not ask for help because my pride, or I just felt ashamed or embarrassed and stuff like that. But, man, if you have the determination and and you have a vision that you're going to get out of this situation, by any means necessary, do what you have to do to get towards that vision that you have for the future. And Don't be ashamed of anything, don't be ashamed of your walk, because this is your walk right now. This is what you got to do to make it through. So ask for help, but don't do anything sneaky, scandalous, or anything that'll like jeopardize or bend and break and fold your non-negotiables, your integrity, or anything. I don't want you doing none of that. Don't sell anything outside of yourself. Don't do nothing that you wouldn't want your kids to do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, ask for help. Ask for help for sure. Another thing is saving for emergencies. For some people, like if you find a place you can stay or something like that, save. You gotta stack your cheese. They always say like, you gotta stay down till you come up. And that applies to you right now. Applies to me as well. You gotta save a certain amount of your income until it's time to say, okay, now I can invest. Now I can, make these certain moves to like invest in myself or increase my income. But right now you gotta build a foundation. You gotta build a safety net while you doing this situation. And also know, like, people say it's not like smart to save your money. And in the long term, yes, but in short term, you gotta have a safety net before you're able to say like, okay, I'm not gonna really save majority of my money. I'm gonna start investing, reing up. So take that into account. Like I said before, live below your means. This is so important. If you're trying to raise your income or you're trying to survive financially long term, you have to live below your means. It's pretty common sense. No wealthy person is exceeding or living over their means right now. They're actually living below their means and just trying to scale up their money, their investments and stuff like that. You will never survive correctly if you're living over your means. So live below your means. This includes like no partying, no eating out, you know what I mean? No eating out unhealthy foods and all that stuff, no partying or putting yourself in a position to where you drinking or smoking. Like none of that. We ain't focused on that. We trying to build a foundation of having a place to stay. So this is way more important than all those things. So try to have a food budget, you know what I'm saying? Don't try to eat out too much because that can eat up into your money. Another thing is choosing an affordable area to stay in or affordable place. Not every place is gonna be peaches and cream, or you're not gonna always find a place that's safe and all that. Everywhere is not safe, you know what I'm saying? But find what works for you and your situation and works for your mental state. You know what I mean? Because your mind, this is so important. You have to make sure that your mind is in a good state in order to maneuver through the situation. And that also includes like your environment. So choose where you lay your head at night so you can have a clear mind, a clear spirit in order to produce and create a new situation for yourself or create some sort of income so you can do that. So how I look at moving out, right now, currently, I'm just really transitioning into my authentic self. I'm finding myself. It's risky, it's nerve-wracking, but at the same time, it's gonna have to happen someday. And especially if you're in a situation where you feel like your mind and your physical self is in a bad environment to where it's getting tested and stuff like that, man, I recommend you doing what you have to do. Do what's best for you, because no one's gonna necessarily save you. You have to be willing to do for self first. You have to make sure that you're in a healthy state and mind frame space, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, in order to serve others and do what's best for others. So understand that this is just a transition. It's not the end all be all. You will push through, you will make it through. You just have to see it through and plan it out, write it out, pray it out too, meditate. And it will soon get better for you. Everything will get better and greater later. You just gotta see it, man. Gotta see it to believe it. And you will achieve it. So I appreciate y'all for tuning into the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. Just let me know what you got out of this video. This kind of different type of style video for me. Or just do as you please. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. All love.